Call the meeting to order. I'd like to ask Laura Young to lead us on the roll call.
Councilmember Hensley.
Here.
Councilmember Kidwell.
Here.
Councilmember Teague.
Here.
Councilmember Ward.
Here.
Everyone's here and called for, so I'd like to ask Danny Ricker to come up and lead us on the invocation, and then Tim Ward to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everyone can stand.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you so much for being here today, God. We ask you to bless all of our city leaders today, God, as they make decisions for our communities. God, I'd like to take time just to thank you, Lord, because we know it's your power and your glory that takes care of Greenville, Greene County, and you've called each one to do your service. And I pray for them and their families, Lord. Bless everyone here today, God. We ask in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Face the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our mayor's comments. First thing I'm going to go over is a proclamation that was written by Kevin Morrison and I. So, whereas on September 11th, 2001, the United States and our entire American family endured the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil in the nation's history with great courage, heroism, and resolve. In response to this tragedy, Americans across the country came together in a remarkable spirit of patriotism and unity and carried out countless acts of kindness, generosity, compassion, and love of country and their fellow man. And whereas in the aftermath of our national shock, grief, and recovery, many survivors, family members of 9/11 victims, first responders, communities, community organizations, and governments began annual, eloquent, emotionally moving ceremonies of somber remembrance and reflection on the events of that day, how our nation was affected and changed, and all those loved and lost. And whereas from those early remembrance ceremonies grew a greater effort to better represent and capture the spirit and honor the memories, lives, and contributions of all the victims of this national tragedy, and ultimately build permanent memorials at each attack site and establish a nationally recognized observance. Therefore, these same survivors, victim families, community organizations, and government organized and urged in the establishment of Patriot Day and a 9/11 National Day of Service to give back in the spirit of the lives they lived and all they sacrificed. And whereas by joint resolution approved December 18th, 2001, Public Law 10789, the Congress has designated every September 11th as Patriot Day, and by Public Law 11113, approved April 21st, 2009, the Congress requested the observance of every September 11th as a National Day of Service and Remembrance, and charged the Corporation for National and Community Service with leading this nationwide effort. And whereas participating in community service and remembrance activities on September 11th is a positive and respectful way to remember the lives lost and pay tribute to those that rose in service and honor those who continue to serve our country today, including active duty, reserve, and National Guard soldiers and their families, veterans, law enforcement, first responders, medical professionals, and all those who protect and serve with immeasurable devotion every day. And whereas each year, September 11th reminds us of how much we lost that day in life and promise, and how much our country and the psyche of every American was affected, and our view of our national innocence compromised. We are also reminded of the strength, courage, vigilance, resolve, and national pride that grew from our mourning. And each year we annually renew our commitments to American patriotism, service, and unity in honor of all those who lost their lives that day, and those that have lost their lives in the subsequent days and years in recovery, rebuilding and exacting justice in the ongoing and valiant fight for the perpetual perseverance of liberty and peace. Now therefore, we, Kevin C. Morrison, Mayor of Greene County, Tennessee, and C. Calvin Doty, Mayor of Greenville, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim the September 11th, 2025 as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. In remembrance of this, the 24th anniversary, we further hereby order all flags on all Greene County, Town of Greenville government facilities to be flown at half-staff from dawn Thursday, September 11th until dawn Friday, September the 12th. And we urge all our citizens to remember and reflect on the events of that day and recommit themselves to giving back, being kind, serving others, or helping all in some small way as a gesture of honored remembrance to those we lost. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the official seeing of Greenville and the town of Greenville, of Greene County and the town of Greenville to this proclamation. So I hope everybody will take advantage and think about what happens on September 11th and say a prayer for our country. So thank you. Second thing is I'm going to cover a couple things. And one, we have a retirement that's going to come up. We also have the person that started the truck fair, the third year that we've done this truck fair. We had probably 150 trucks. Over 150 trucks down at the fairground on Saturday, and really good trucks, and a lot of people from a lot of different places. A lot of folks talking about how much they enjoyed Greenville down on Depot Street Saturday night. And there was probably between 400 and 500 people that were there at one time, and more than that over the night. So I'd like to ask Brian Harrison to come up and Patsy Fuller to come up also.
He's somewhere in there proud. Glad your wife is with you, and your boy, who looks just like your mini-me. Good, good. Yeah, yeah. I want everybody to know that Brian Harrison, he's given the city 26 years of service. And if he was somewhere before he came here, he probably has more. And I'd like to present you with this.
Been a good 26 years. You know, it was rewarding. I tried to support the mission and the goals of the town, promote the town when I could. I took orders. I didn't analyze them. Today, but here we are.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, as far as unfinished business go, item 7.1 is consideration to approve the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting held on August 5th, 2025. That was sent out last week. Everybody had a copy of it. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Next item is a very difficult one that I feel like is something that needs to be done. I've got a statement I'd like to say, and then have we got the list of people that have asked to speak? I was actually going to let the other people speak first before I spoke, but a number of the people have asked for me to speak first, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. When I ran for office, the mayor's office in 2022, I ran on a simple idea, moving our community forward. That means improving relationships, breaking away from the mindset of this is how we've always done it, and looking for new, innovative ways to make our town better. People responded to these ideas. One of the concerns I heard most often was the need for change in leadership at Town Hall. Many voters asked me to take a serious look at our city manager's office. With more than 40 years of business experience, I believed I could help bring in new ideas and new ways of operating. In my first term, I focused on learning. I spent time listening to our people, studying our practices, and offering guidance where I could. We had some successes, but I continue to hear from both citizens and employees that stronger direction was needed at the city manager level. One project that highlighted these concerns was the Depot Street project. Over and over, I was asked, who's in charge? After digging in, I realized the answer was troubling. No one from the city was managing it. Instead, the engineering company that designed the project was effectively running it. That lack of oversight caused real problems. For example, we have window or lights that are down on Depot Street, and they're taller than the 12-foot lights that we have around the rest of our town. When asked why, there was no explanation, just that's what they did. 2 years after the grand opening, the project is still unfinished, sidewalk concerns remain unresolved, and we have no designs or clear plans for the next steps. Relationships are another area where we must do better. Our town cannot grow in isolation. We must work with the county and with the surrounding communities. In the past, we only went to county commission meetings when we wanted money or funding. I've started attending the meetings because we should be at the table all the time, building partnerships and offering to help, not just asking for help. These are just the few issues that I feel are holding us back. There are others the City Council has asked to move. There are other activities the City Council has asked to move forward on, but they remain unfinished. As mayor and City Council members, we are part-time leaders, but our responsibility is to provide direction, vision, and accountability. What our community needs most is simple: ideas, best practices, innovation, and a commitment to doing things better. Expectations, accountability, and transparency are not optional. They are the hallmarks of a strong, vibrant, and healthy community. That is the standard we must hold ourselves to, and the commitment I will continue to bring as your mayor. This is why I'm asking Mr. Smith to resign from the city manager position. Okay, I want to go over real quickly this agreement, or I'm sorry, the resolution for the speaking portion of this meeting is basic. I'm going to read it all, so we've got a copy of it. Kathy, do you have it that we could put up? Okay. Whereas it is desirable and necessary to establish a policy pertaining to public participation in meetings of the City Council of the Town of Greenville in order to maintain efficiency and order, now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the Town of Greenville do hereby amend a previous public participation policy for citizens attending City Council meetings. Purpose: the City Council of Greenville desires input from Greenville residents at City Council meetings that fit within the limited time constraints of a City Council meeting. Persons who may address the council: citizens who are residents of Greenville or who are entitled to vote in Greenville municipal election may address the City Council under the public comments section of the agenda. A person making comments at a City Council meeting must state their name and address prior to comments. Comments must be related to agenda items. Any citizen speaking during the public comments section must limit their remarks to a specific item from the current meeting agenda. The mayor shall have the authority to revoke the remaining time of a qualified person for making derogatory remarks of a personal nature, using vile or offensive language, or for any behavior deemed inappropriate by the mayor. Time limits. Citizens are limited to 3 minutes of comments, and the city council shall close public comments after 20 minutes in order to conduct business on the agenda. Registration. Individuals seeking to provide public comments must either contact Town Hall 24 hours prior to the public meeting or complete a sign-in sheet on location prior to the public meeting to indicate name and address as part of the public record. Some exceptions. The city council may make exceptions to the policy by contemporaneous majority vote. The town of Greenville reserves the right to amend or alter the terms of this policy adopted the 6th day of June, 2023. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 speakers. The first one is Amy Hutcherson. Okay, you can come on up. And Laura has a timer, so when the, oh, okay.
I'm unfamiliar with this form of government.
Can you step up?
So if you're the mayor and he's the city manager, who oversees the city manager?
The city council.
So if he did not do what you're saying, he didn't oversee Depot Street and everything, does that not spread out to all the council members? Because it's been a while. That project has been a while going on. So I'm confused as to why one gentleman is responsible for it. Why isn't all of the council responsible for it if you all oversee him?
He's the CEO or the operations person for our town. We give direction and ideas, and then it's his opportunity or his needs to actually make the activities happen.
So you all have addressed with him, where's our leadership? Why has this been done? That has been addressed.
I've spent 3 years meeting with him on a Monday to talk about the things that we think need to be done. We haven't done a good review on him. I'll be the first one to admit that. And also this activity, it's not me. I made the agenda. These people will vote.
Sure.
And so it'll be all of us that will make that decision.
Okay. I just want to go on the record. I don't know Todd Smith, don't know him at all. I could see him on the street and not know who he was. I do know that he is military, has a great background, so that's why I'm confused as to when you say he was in charge of the project, but there had to be a checks and balances, and that's what I'm looking for, so.
And he should have been the checks and balances because we approved the money and then it was the town to really address the issues.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want to add, and anybody wants to add, please do.
Personal privilege. Do you want to hold on comments till we get through the public?
I was going
input?
to.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't read this name, I'm sorry. Can anybody else? "106 Sycamore Street." Stacy?
Yeah, I'm left-handed, so you might need to turn the paper over.
Now I can see it.
How are y'all doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm a little frustrated. I'm not too happy with some of the things I see going on. These buildings down here are not the community. Some of the things, these businesses that are being brought in do not represent the community. Everybody's making a big deal, national chains. I'm not seeing the community really being supported. I've never seen a program where we have something like people can garden and rent a tools. I've been to other places and libraries will rent gardening tools. I've never even heard of anybody bringing anything up like that. This country was found on discourse and debate, disagreement, and y'all come in this little air-conditioned room here because it's the easiest thing. In my life, I've found a few times when I'm doing the easy thing, I look around and see that it's probably the wrong thing to be doing because I'm going down the wrong path. And I would like to see a bigger room. I would like to see this out in a field and more people encouraged. I mean, pull two hay wagons together and you've got your podium there to stand on. I don't have all the great ideas. I've got more questions than ideas. I better hold on to something. I'm gonna fall over.
Are you okay?
Yeah, my blood pressure's up, but I'm trying. If you think you need to breathe, tell me to breathe. But I would really like to see some of these changes. I'd like to see more of a commitment to the people. I mean, there's all kind. I feel like our leadership has failed to be imaginative and innovate. Like we're taking things that's from other places that work here and putting them to work here, like because they work, because it's the easiest thing to do. I think there needs to be some experimentation, some failure. That's the way you learn. That's the way you get things done, in my opinion. But that's about all I got to say.
Thank you, sir. And we have these meetings twice a month. So come. We'd like to have people
I
talk.
can't come in the door half the time. I go to the county commissions too, but I just can't bring myself to go in the door.
Or call me any day and we'll sit down and talk. Thank you. Nancy Laughlin, is this to speak about this edition or this issue or something else? No, this has to be to the agenda. I said you scheduled a meeting with you next week, and I'd like to talk to you first so we can decide how we can add this on the agenda.
Okay, but it does have to do with Todd Smith's resignation.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, then that's fine.
Before my dad passed away, we did a life estate deed. And for those of you that are not familiar with that, a life estate deed allowed for him, the life estate tenant, to remain in the house. And upon his death, the deed automatically transferred to the remainder man, myself. He reached out to his nephew, Jerry Laughlin, to prepare the deed. After my dad's death, the only person in my life turned abusive, and he was wanting to take control of my property. I refused. It reached a point to where I knew I was going to die, whether it was I starved to death or he killed me. So I reached out to the police department and I reported the theft of my house, my only income. And the police went up there and they took a picture of the fraudulent lease that had the named parties on my police report. After the police said I was not the owner, they allowed the criminals to remain in control of my property. And after they stonewalled me and would not talk to me, I reached out to Todd Smith to help facilitate a conversation between myself and the police department. Todd Smith refused to do that. He said I was not the owner in writing. He said I had a probate matter, not a criminal matter. He said, seek legal counsel. I told him that I had sought legal counsel. Legal counsel confirmed that I am the owner. He retaliated against me by sending the sheriff's department to my house. I emailed him and asked what the sheriff's department was doing at my house. He said, they're there to help you open the door. I said, they can't help me. I said, send them down the road to Anthony Sutherland's house. He's the one that has the fraudulent lease and is in control of my property, collecting my only income. I said, please ask them to leave. I said, I didn't think the abuse could be any worse than what he put me through. But the abuse that you're putting me through is worse. So because of that, I would like for him to resign.
Thank you, Ms. Laughlin. Next one's Christina Potts.
My name is Christina Potts, and I'm an employee of the town of Greenville as the media marketing specialist. I'm also a citizen of Greenville, and I'm clocked out right now. Today, I want to talk about grit and how it applies to our city manager, Todd Smith. Grit is more than perseverance. It's a deep, steady passion for long-term goals. It's the determination to see things through, not only when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Grit means showing up, staying the course, and doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Let me walk you through what grit looks like in action through Todd. Grit has 4 components, and the first one's interest. Todd is a self-professed government nerd, and I say that with admiration. He discovered his passion in high school through a local government program, and he's dedicated his life to it ever since. He doesn't just do the job, he lives it. He knows our ordinances inside and out. He understands the systems, structure, and service. He finds joy in the work of governance, and that benefits all of us. Todd also knows his strengths, and just as importantly, he knows the strengths of those around him. He builds teams, he puts experts in the right positions, he trusts them to lead. He doesn't micromanage, he empowers. Practice is the second one. Todd practices leadership by showing up, not just in meetings, but in the field. He mows grass with Parks and Rec. He pulls weeds with Public Works. He rides along with the police department to Walmart, which, as we know, can be an adventure in itself, and was. But here's the thing. He doesn't do this for recognition. He's not looking for the spotlight. I never was there taking pictures of him doing that. He doesn't want me to do that. He does it to gain real understanding, to walk in the shoes of the people he leads and to better support their work. The third one is purpose. Todd's purpose starts with his faith and his family and closely follows with his commitment to our community. He loves this town. He tells us this all the time. He loves the people who make it work every day. Many of us have said that this team feels like a family. Family's back there. And I've said it myself. I've even said I love my job. And that's not something I've been able to say in my near 30-year career until now. That's not by accident, it's by leadership. And yes, a 30-year career means that I'm almost eligible to join the Roby, and I'm signing up next month with Nicole. Hope. Hope is what Todd has. He's grounded in his faith, his sense of duty, and his character. He's served this country, he's been tested, and he will persevere through this moment too. He is resilient, steady, and committed to excellence no matter what challenges come his way. But the last one I want to talk about is fairness, and this is the 5th one I'm adding here. Yes, under our charter, City Council has the authority to remove the city manager without cause. That is the legal right. But is it the right thing to do? I don't believe it is.
Thank you.
For the record, my name is Laura Young. I live at 355 Grapevine Trail. I'm also the finance director for the town of Greenville. You'll excuse me if I get a little emotional here. I'm speaking today both as an employee and a citizen of the town of Greenville to each of you, council members and Mayor Doty. There is something you may not know about me. In 2016, I had a choice to become an employee of the town of Greenville or to become an employee of another municipality in East Tennessee. I actually knew Mr. Smith when we were both employed by the city of Johnson City in the early to mid 2000s. His reputation, leadership and integrity was and still is strong enough to influence my decision 8 to 10 years later to make that decision to become a part of this team and serve the citizens of the town of Greenville. He does so much for employees and citizens that many people do not know and will likely never be aware, simply because he cares for those around him and expects nothing in return. This action, if approved, will initiate a ripple effect for our employees, all of our employees. Morale will take a nosedive, and actually it already has, just with this conversation pending today. Furthermore, the very culture of servant leadership and trust that Mr. Smith has built with us over the last 13 years, for me the last 6 years, will be negatively effective and likely depleted. Ken Blanchard said that successful leadership is influence and not authority, and that is how Mr. Smith has led us at least the entire time that I have been here. And from my fellow employees, they agree, those that have been here as long as I have and longer. I stand in support of keeping Mr. Smith as the city manager of the town of Greenville and respectfully request your consideration to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Patsy Fuller.
First, thank you very much to allow me to speak. As the Human Resources Director and employee of the town, I want to say that my choice to come to Greenville 13 years ago was influenced by the change in city manager style of government, Todd has been the leader who has set the direction of our management team. He has inspired us to do our best and provided a positive and motivational environment for us to grow and achieve our goals. John Maxwell said, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." This is Todd. Todd's leadership qualities contribute to building trust, fostering a positive environment, and motivating others toward our common goals. Todd has created an environment where teamwork and cooperation are valued, encouraging open communication and shared responsibility. This is Todd. Todd empowers and influences us with integrity, courage, and humility. Todd's leadership has influenced the actions and decisions of our team, often through communication, delegation, and problem solving. That is Todd. He empowers us to take care of our people who work hard every day and take pride in being a part of a culture that cares about each other. And this is why my motto is in keeping human resources, because our people are our most important. John Quincy Adams said that if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you are a leader, and that is Todd. So I respectfully request that the board consider leaving Todd our leader for the town of Greenville. Thank you.
Ms. Stover? Yes, Joan?
Thank you for listening. It might take a little bit more than 3 minutes, but
Only get 3 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna try real hard. Okay. I know that you, as mayor, can request a resignation, and the city council has the right to request the same. There are many questions that the citizens of the town of Greenville have concerning this proposal. I want to go over the duties of the mayor briefly. And it is 1, he shall preside at all meetings. 2, he will make suggestions and give instructions to city council as in his judgment will be most conducive to the interest of the town of Greenville. 3, shall have veto power over any action of city council. Does not have, however, the right to vote. Now I want to go over the duties of the city manager. He administers the business of the town and executes all contracts except as otherwise provided by this charter or by law. He makes recommendations to the council for improving the quality and quantity of public service to be rendered by the officers and employees to the citizens of the town of Greenville, to appoint and when deemed necessary for the good of the services, discipline, suspend, or remove all city employees, officers, provided for by or under the charter, subject to the provision of Chapter 179. And as long as it is not in conflict with the charter or with you. 4, he is to direct and supervise the administration of all departments, officers, and agencies of the town, except as otherwise provided by this charter or by law. He is to attend all meetings, though he has not the right to vote. He is to prepare and submit annual capital budgets and update to council at appropriate times. To submit to City Council and make available to the public a complete report on the finances and administrative activities of the town. And it goes on and on. Is that my time?
You can spend, if you've got a
Okay.
comment that you'd like to finish.
Basically, what I want to say is that Todd, I want to know what he's done wrong. I know you will have time to answer that,
I've
but,
actually said what I think is the problem.
well, then I say that the council should have taken the right and had the right to veto. You have the right to veto anything that the council does. And I can say that Todd has been there for our community every single time. And I am proud to say that I object to the resignation of Todd Smith. One
Thank
last
you.
statement, please, please. Okay. All right, and it's very simple. I ask you as the council members to vote your conscience. Vote what you know is right and what is not maybe a power struggle. I ask you to look at the good that this man has done and to not vote to remove. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think you guys have got an opportunity to say your thing, and then Todd, you'll be able to go next. And we'll start with Ms. Kidwell.
Well, Ms. Hutcherson, I believe, was the first speaker. Mayor, the buck stops here. I mean, Todd he carries out the will of us, but it's our responsibility. And no matter who's sitting here, it's this council that ultimately makes the decisions. I think we have done our community and our city manager an injustice by not evaluating him. As it was stated, he should be evaluated every year. And also, you said you met with him on every Monday. I never got a readout from that. I never knew what those concerns. I heard on the street that he was going to be asked, he had been asked to resign. We all need to look at ourselves and see what we can do to make sure that we don't put a public spectacle on like this, that we get our house in order all the way from the top. And I accept full responsibility for many of these derelictions of duty.
Thank you. Not gonna say anything? Okay. Tim?
I do, thank you. Thank you to all the speakers. I'll keep this very brief. This smacked me right upside the head like it probably did some of you in the audience. Cal, wished you would have come to me with some of your concerns about Todd. Never heard of him, never knew that. But I appreciate you bringing him up now, thank you. As Jeannie alluded to, as far as I know, have you ever had a job review, Todd? I can ask you questions.
I had one in 2013, so it was basically a year into my job. I had
You're
one.
into your job,
And that's it.
Well, I think that was up to this board and the mayor, I think, previous mayor and this mayor,
Correct.
to facilitate that to you, is what I read in our charter, and come to agreement how that works. Since you've never had one, how did you know that these things were going on in our mayor's mind, I guess? I've got questions about it, and I'll pass it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'd like to address two things that have been brought up. One, the perceived impulsiveness of this entire situation while we're here. First and foremost, we are here having a public meeting to address this agenda item at the request of Mr. Smith. He did send an email to the city council. It's public record. He sent an email to the city council letting us know that if we had issues with his performance, that we would have to bring it up before a meeting. Here we are. Second, that I would like to bring up, the issue of the performance evaluation. When I was elected to office a little over a year ago now, we had a city council retreat where MTAS came in and did a training for all of us. And during that retreat, Mr. Smith brought up his request to have an evaluation done. We all discussed it at that meeting. All of us did, that we were aware. We were under the impression after we left that meeting that Mr. Smith was going to facilitate that process, or initiate that process with the management consultant from MTAS who spoke to us about the evaluation process. We have not received, from that meeting, that was the last that we had heard about doing a formal evaluation process. Now, I want to say this as well. You know, when we talk about evaluating city managers, you've heard me mention MTAS, and I hate acronyms and alphabet soup. So MTAS stands for Municipal Technical Advisory Service. And the management consultant who came in and was speaking with us and discussing that they have an actual evaluation rubric and criteria that each of the city council members would fill out, would complete, and it would then be shared with the mayor, and then the mayor could do either a one-on-one to go over it, or we could do a public meeting like this. There's variations of how it could go. Again, after that meeting, we were never approached over that. We do not have a formal process in writing of how we evaluate city managers. So I don't want, individuals in the audience and those watching on Facebook Live to think that, we're not going around the protocols. There's not a formal protocol listed right now for how to formally evaluate the city managers. But MTAS does have that resource. I'm still waiting on that email to give my formal input. But I do know that he meets with all of us one-on-one, or at least he's met with me one-on-one several times, and I have aired grievances, I have aired concerns, and not of my own volition, but of the citizens of this community. Todd, I have no doubt, I do not question your character one bit. And it's clear this town employees, they think you're doing a great job from that standpoint. But that's your job to create that environment. My job is to represent the citizens of the community of Greenville, Tennessee. They have differing thoughts on your performance. Now, again, I have no formal tool at this point to share those, but I have my own concerns that should not come as a shock to you. But that's where I'm coming from with this. Two things that I wanted to address. My biggest issues, because over the last probably 2 weeks, I have combed through probably, 30, 40 responses from people via email, phone call, catching me on the street, interrupting me in meals when I'm, with my wife because they want to talk about this particular situation. I want to start, since everyone's kind of started with some quotes, I have a couple of quotes that came to my mind in preparing for this particular situation as I was reflecting. And the first one is from former Senator Howard Baker, who said, "The power of collaboration is far greater than our individual efforts." And as I reflected on that, I was reminded of the MLK quote that said that leaders don't search for consensus, they mold it. Two primary issues that have come up from citizens of the community of Greenville, and also that I had personal issue with as well, have to do with, First and foremost, the perceived impulsiveness of how funding was discussed and delivered to our Greene County partnership. That, to me, was not handled in an appropriate professional manner. It literally turned our community upside down. It did. I expressed those concerns to you and pleaded with you to reconsider that consideration or recommendation based off of community input from our constituents. You don't axe funding of your community's sole ECD and tourism entity. But the real concerning part of that for me was the fact that that decision not only was made, in my opinion, without the regard of the potential implications that it would have from our county and other neighboring community colleagues, but that there was not a cohesive plan of how ECD and tourism would be handled if absorbed under the town. And that was, in my opinion, very risky and has only fueled the divisiveness of what we see in our community right now. And I stand on the foundation of collaboration and wanting to work with our community. The second piece, and then I'll promise I will be quiet at this point. The second piece that I have is we talk about visionary leadership moving forward. A couple of meetings ago, it is shared with us how we are going to handle strategic planning for our community. You outlined your process for how that would go. It involved creating and disseminating a survey. Nowhere in that plan did you refer to, bring up the work and the input of the citizens of Greenville via a livability committee report that was produced, a Parks and Rec 10-year master plan that was recently produced, a customer service satisfaction survey that was recently shared with us, or one that is very near and dear to my heart, a 20-year comprehensive plan that I worked on with the Building, Planning, and Zoning Department. None of those documents were brought up. And that was alarming to me, because as we talk about moving forward, you've heard input from the community. You've heard input from these, you've mobilized these groups to come together to put the hard work in to produce a document to where we should be looking at implementation or execution. And instead, it felt like we had started back at square one with collecting data. Well, we've already got the data from that, at least as a starting point. Those are my two biggest concerns right now, but I do want to make sure that it is for the record clear that I do not question your character as an individual. I appreciate your service, and I have no doubt that you handle and execute the administration of the internal parts of the town well. But I also know that my role as a city council member is to speak for the citizens of Greenville, and there is some serious concern. And I will stop there and allow my colleagues on the council to address anything else that they would like to.
I do want to say one other thing. Working in government is a very, very different thing to me. Tim said I hadn't brought concerns to him about what was going on. I have been taught by our attorney to not discuss issues with our city council members.
Voting member. We won't go through that.
We won't go that.
All right.
So I didn't do it. I did talk to Todd and say, I think it's time for a change. I've had many, many people say that to me, so that was the decision that I took. After I talked to him, he sent out information to our city manager, or city council, and the next step was either to bring it to this or to not. I've had many, many of our citizens say it's time for a change. So now I would like for Mr. Smith to say any comments he has. And if you want to go over there and speak,
Wherever you want me.
or do you feel more comfortable?
I'd just soon address it
Okay.
from right here
All
if I
right.
could. Some thoughts and allegations that were brought up about my activities could be refuted, Councilmember Hensley, but I don't think this is a time or place. I think there's bigger issues to talk about here. And Ms. Stover actually was correct, very correct, in going back to our founding document, the Charter of the Town of Greenville, which is our foundation. It sets up the rules. It's basically our Constitution. And over the last several weeks, I've got a lot of feedback from employees that concerns me. And that feedback is that the mayor is in departments, is talking to employees, is suggesting actions by employees, and even at times directing employees. And that concerns me. And if I could just read out of our charter. The city council and its members shall deal with the administrative services of the town only through the city manager, except for the purpose of inquiry. And neither the city council nor any member thereof shall give orders or instructions to any subordinates of the city manager. The city manager shall take instructions from the city council when they are sitting in a duly convened meeting of the city council. I should be judged by taking instruction from the city council when they are sitting in a duly convened meeting of the city council. That is how you judge a city manager. So I feel like there is a power play that's going on in the town of Greenville, where the real issue is the city manager is being the city manager, and perhaps the mayor wants to be city manager as well, and that deeply concerns me. Now, let me talk about what may be the real issue. I've been told by the mayor, and several employees and other people have been told that he doesn't like me going out to eat with a certain group a couple of times a month, that I go out to eat for lunch every other week or so, a couple of times a month, with the former mayor, W.T. Daniels. He's told me he doesn't like that. He's told other employees he doesn't like that. And he's been angry and telling me that. I think that's the real reason we're here, is it's personal. And we're a growing community. We're a community that's seen unprecedented growth in our commercial side, on our residential side, and we've got issues, but not issues, we've just got challenges to keep up with services, infrastructure, and schools. And it seems the big concern is who the city manager goes to lunch with every other week. And we've got bigger issues that this community deserves our focus on. So I don't know how this vote will go. This may be my last city council meeting. And I just want to say a couple things. And then it's been my greatest honor to serve the citizens here. When I get those phone calls from citizens and they have an issue or a problem and that we can go take care of it, use our town resources to go take care of it, and they call back and say thank you, there's no greater joy I get out of public service than doing that. And the opportunity to serve beside this great group of employees, these public servants who come to work every day, and their focus is on how do we make this community better. It's been a high professional honor to serve with you. So I thank you. I appreciate it. And I leave, if I do leave, if it's the will of the city council, with incredible memories. I feel like in the last 13 years, this team has put transformative change in place in the town of Greenville that will see results for generations to come, and it's been a great honor to be part of that. Thank you.
I have talked to Todd about meeting with former Mayor Daniels, but I tried to talk to him saying that I have many people in our town that don't feel comfortable of him doing that because they feel that there is a second government running our town. I thought it would hurt him in that job, and I was trying to give him decision or discussion that I thought would help him. Maybe I'm wrong. I was trying to do what I could for the town. I do live here. I love this town. I'm trying to invest in our downtown. I'm happy with the new businesses that we have coming in. There's people that have come into our town. It's a great, great place. Todd is a good man. I just think it's time for a change. So I would like to call, is there a motion to request for the resignation from City Manager Todd Smith?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second? There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Laura, can you take?
Do a roll call.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go this way. Councilmember Hensley,
Yes.
Councilmember Teague,
No.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Kidwell.
No.
It's 2-2, and I vote
There is
for
a tie vote. Mayor
yes.
Doty.
Yes.
Can I ask for clarification on that? Can I
Sure.
make the assumption that that invokes my employment agreement for my severance package?
Yes.
Okay, and do I assume that when my resignation is submitted, it's good that day, or is there any kind of time you expect me to work out, or is it immediate?
I'd like for you to work the rest of the week.
Okay.
You could take care of stuff there.
What?
You can come in. You can not. It's up to you.
Okay.
But the week, we'll go forward. And there is some other things that we'll need to talk about. There's some time that you have built up on sick time and some other things. So we'll make sure that we get all of that resolved also.
Okay.
Mayor, your point being, y'all just voted for him to submit the resignation. Move in, you have to have a meeting in which that is on the agenda. Vote and meet again.
Correct. Correct. And I will be as expedient as I can in giving you an answer.
Thank you.
Well, before you move on, one thing, whatever process, if he is now gone, whatever process, it needs to be transparent. We need to get counsel. And one thing, MTAS, you didn't say that you're an employee there.
But I am also not a management consultant with that, and I have nothing to do with those evaluations. And I would also appreciate it if you would keep my personal job. When I'm here on this council, I'm not an MTAS employee, and I have nothing to do with that process. I do not even serve the town of Greenville as the East Tennessee consultant.
I know, but, I work at ETSU, and, when.
And I appreciate you sharing that, but again, I am not the town of Greenville's consultant. Thank you.
But anyway, the qualifications for this, I'd like to know what the process is going to be. Are we going to do a national search? Are we going to, what's
Yes.
that going to entail?
I think we need to do
In
a
an
national-
objective way.
Yeah. And this department, or this city council will discuss that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to take a 10-minute recess so we can go forward.
Commission.
Huh?
What, I said, what's it?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're next.
I'm just kidding.
Item 8.2, update for Roby Theater Committee. They didn't make it today, so we'll have it at the next meeting. Item 8.3 is consideration to approve the bid for bat removal at the Roby Adult Center. If you didn't know, we have about 5,000 bats in the Roby.
So.
Hello, Nicole.
Hi. I'm here for consideration to approve a bid for the bat removal at the Roby Center.
So who all gave us approval?
So we have a bid from Safe Haven Avian Group and Rogers Wildlife Control.
Okay, and what were the difference in the cost?
So the Safe Haven Avian Group was $82,400, and the Rogers Wildlife Control was $36,000.
Did you talk to them about what the big difference between the two was?
At the end of the day, they're pretty much in comparison. The only thing I can see is the exclusion in the ceiling, the difference of the ceiling procedure.
Okay. And when can they get to it?
Right now, both of them are on a November timescale.
Okay. We found out that bats couldn't be messed with during the summertime because they're roosting. Did you know that?
No.
No.
They're protected species from the 1st of June to August the 15th.
And there's babies there.
What does that process look like to remove them? Do you know? Like how long will the Roby need to be closed for a
They will
period
not
of time?
they do not have to, we don't have to close down at all. They will be put tubing out of the ceiling, or the attic, should I say, and it will extract them where they can't come back in. Once they're all done, it'll be every bit from 3 to 6 weeks for them to be extracted, and then they have to come back in and remove the guano and then do the sealant.
Okay, so we have a recommendation for the bats to be removed, and the cost will be $36,000. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
I'd like to ask, where's this money coming from, Laura? Out of Nicole's budget, or?
We'll just have to take it out of our regular budget. I'll do a budget amendment. I'll just have to find the money to pay for it because it's not a capital project. So, we'll comb the budget and find a place to park it. Because it needs to be done.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
I just want to make sure the money's there.
I will say we had 6 air quality tests, and all of them come back absent of any findings for the Roby Center, so
That's
it's
good.
safe for us to be open.
And I also want to say thank you, Nicole. You won a special award today. She was part of the Leadership Greene County program, and you were the Step Up and Stand Out winner, the #1 person. So let's give her a hand. We did do the
Motion in a second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Next is item 8.4, 6. I've lost my paper. 8.4. A resolution establishing a policy for filling vacancies on town and joint boards and commissions. Kathy?
So you have in front of you on page 19, which is up on the board right now, just the resolution for the policy moving forward with filling vacant seats on boards and commissions. And then I sent you all an email yesterday on page 20 to 22. Christina, help me out over there and pull that one up. So if you'll see on page, go to 23 to 25 first. That was the policy that Todd had sent out to you all a while back, a few weeks ago, on feedback from you all at the last meeting or the meeting before that on how to go about the process so that we are more transparent. And so from now forward, all boards that have a vacancy or even an incumbent board member that's on that board that is seeking reappointment, we will now advertise for that position for 2 weeks in our different methods, social media, website, Greenville Sun, WGRB, and then we will accept applicants, even those that are currently serving in those positions. And then after those 2 weeks up, we will have those local boards meet, and they will review all the candidates, and then they will choose a recommended candidate to present to all of you all, and then you can make that decision. There are some boards that are a little unique and different. There's town form boards and commissions, and then there is ones established by state statute, and then, of course, joint boards. So the first one on page 23 to 25 in your packet is the one that Todd had showed you all, the original policy. And then we got some feedback from Jenny, because I believe Todd sent that out and asked for any feedback from any of you all. And then Jenny made some comments that is on page 20 to 22. And those are highlighted in red. So Christina, if you can go to those. And that's just basically adding a little small portion to each one of those policies as far as removal of a board member and how that would look, but more so about how we would get the word out to make sure that people know that there is a vacant seat available and that they are welcome to apply. So I'm asking for you today to choose which policy you would like to go with. You have two examples, the one on page 20 to 22 with Jenny's suggestions that have been incorporated into that policy, or if you would prefer to go to the one on page 23 to 25 that Todd sent out to you all originally. And a good example of this right now is we've been taking applications for the past 2 weeks for one of the boards. So the Health and Ed Board, Health and Education Facility Boards, we started taking applications a little over 2 weeks ago. Yesterday was the last day for people to apply for that. So the next process is I sent that to you all this afternoon so that you all have 2 weeks or more to review those applicants. And then I'm trying to schedule a meeting with Jerry Laughlin, who coordinates and does the public notice for that Health and Ed Board, so that that board in particular can meet. They can review the applicants. They can make a recommendation to the city council. And then once I have that information from that board, then I will bring that back before you all. And then, of course, you've had plenty of time to review those applicants as well. And then that'll be that's just a good example to show you the process moving forward.
Yeah, and one thing about that type of board is if they just meet regularly, whether they have anything on the agenda or not.
Right.
That way you can assess, I know we had that vacancy with Bill Hickerson.
Yes.
Because he had died in
Yes,
that
so that
period.
was, that board is not a board that typically meets on a regular basis, but I have been in communication with Jerry Laughlin to see if that board can meet. And that's going to be, a part of this is that some boards don't meet unless they have an item of business to discuss. So from this point forward, some of those boards that don't meet on a regular basis are going to have a called meeting just to review applicants.
Who's on that board now?
Oh, if you would
You would send that tomorrow.
Yes, yes.
Please.
And another part of this too is that this is going to take some help from some of these boards are kind of organized by town staff, and so I will let the town staff know when a board member's term is getting ready to be up. Health and Ed Board is a good example. So we've been trying to fill a vacancy spot right now, but then we've got a few people that serve on that particular board that their term is going to be up in November. So this is just a good example of when their term is getting ready to be up, probably in the month of October, we'll send out another press release to the Greenville Sun and to WGRV and to put it on our social media and website. And we'll have to take applications again for that board, just like the other ones, for 2 weeks, and those that are serving in that capacity on that particular board right now will have to reapply, and then we'll have to go through that process. And the reason for this change is just the first paragraph up there, the purpose is to establish an open and transparent process for citizens to participate. So we want to obviously not discourage the ones that are currently serving on those boards. We want them to reapply if they're willing to serve another term, but we want to make sure that we're being open and transparent so that other folks in the community, if they're interested in serving in one of those capacities on any of those boards, that they have the opportunity to do so as well.
Yeah, and
Please.
perhaps when people are put on boards, if they got a letter stating the length of their term and you're just sort of announcing to them the rules when they meet, that kind of thing, and then reminding them maybe 90 days ahead of time, your vacancy's going to be up in 90 days.
And that was the point I was going to mention too, that I'm going to need the staff's help because a lot of the staff kind of help facilitate those agendas and when those boards meet. And so when I kind of took over keeping track of everybody's terms of office, I do not have a lot of contact information on majority of those people that serve on those boards in regards to email, home addresses, phone numbers, and things of that nature. So this is going to be a team effort.
And one other, while we're talking about this, we had a IDB meeting yesterday and talked about coming up with some training we can have for the IDB members. Can we look around and see if there's things that are available for Planning Commission and all of these? Because we do have Planning Committee training that we need to have, but it's not so much on the nuts and bolts. It's more bigger things. So I'd like to look for some opportunities.
And I'm glad you mentioned that right then because this is a good example too. If I'm not aware of when these boards and commissions are meeting, then I can't help communicate this new process, this new policy, and I was unaware of the IDB board meeting yesterday. So if I don't know when they're meeting, I would love to go to these meetings just so I can share this new policy process, at least for the boards like the city appointees, like IDB board. We appoint, certain amount of people as city appointees. But if I don't know when those boards are meeting, I can't help communicate this new process to them.
I'm also going to discuss, Mr. Laughlin, improving our agenda and such. So, okay, we have two options there. Do I have a motion to move to one or the other, or actually, let's go back. The first one.
The first one is exactly the same as this one. The only thing that is different between this one on page 23 to 25 compared to the one with the revisions that are on page 20 to 22 is just the highlighted portions. And that basically is asking for the staff's help when a board member when their term is getting ready to be up for reappointment, to make sure that they communicate with that individual to say, hey, this spot's getting ready to be up. You're more than welcome to apply, just as we open it up to anybody to apply. The other part is how we're going to get that communication out to the citizens to let them know that they can apply, and that's right there. Advertising will include all of our social media platforms, our local media outlets, our town website, Greenville Sun, WGRV, just as we've been doing. And then obviously town staff or board commission chairs, that's where I just mentioned that part. We will need their help with letting the incumbent candidate know that their term is getting ready to expire, but they have to reapply too if they want to be considered for reappointment. And so there's some seats, if you go up to the top, Christina, right there, that lists all of our boards and commissions currently. And the first and second bullet, all of those boards there will take applications. We'll open it up to anyone, even the person that's in the incumbent spot. And then we'll do that for 2 weeks. We'll send it to you all. And then when that board meets, they will make a recommendation to you all. And then you ultimately will make the decision as to who you want to pick for that. As far as all of those boards listed on bullet 1 and 2. The joint boards are a little different, because those are a mixture of county and city. So with that, same process will take place. We will advertise the position. If you live in the city on some of those, that you can apply to serve on those boards. And then those will not go back to that local board for discussion and a recommendation. Those will come directly to the city council to make that decision on those boards listed under joint board or commission established by state statute.
Okay, so first, do we want to put a resolution establishing a policy for filling vacancies on town and joint boards and commissions? The resolution would be the first thing. Do we want to create this? Do I hear a motion to approve? There's a motion, is there a second?
This one includes Councilmember Kidwell's
No, this is just
additions.
the resolution.
Okay.
And then the second will be, which one do we want?
Which one? All right, then I second that motion.
Is there any further discussion?
And this will go into effect September the 1st. That is listed in the resolution. I just wanted that to be noted in record.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Second one is, do we want to use version 1 or version 2?
Version 1
oh,
that's
go ahead.
highlighted in red. Version 2 is the one that does not include highlighted in red.
I make a motion to approve the version with Councilmember Kidwell's additions.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
I'm gonna kind of stay to the side after the next one, though.
Huh? Next is agenda item 8.5. I completed, I talked to everyone about these jobs, and after discussing with them, I have chosen Brittany Hall, who is 20, she's working here. She works for a company that has been doing apartments and such in other communities, so she has worked with planning commissions and has seen how other planning commissions work. And so she is the first choice, and then the second choice, actually just because of his last name, Trey Ricker III, who was on the planning commission back when we were doing stuff. He left and resigned, and he has moved back and expressed an interest in working on the 20-year plan that we've got and trying to continue to move our planning commission forward.
And this is the board, the planning commission. I don't know if you just stated this when I was going back and forth, but this is the one that is up to the mayor who he chooses to put on this particular the planning commission.
So do I have to take a?
No, just
Okay.
present it.
It's more for documentation purposes.
Okay,
Did you say that Brittany Hall lives in Greenville?
she does.
Okay.
Yes. But she travels around and works in different areas. Okay, that's the end of I do want to say one more thing. It's a very difficult decision today, very difficult discussion. Kathy, as the assistant city manager, will be in control. She'll be the person that is leading the department.
That is actually per our charter up to the city council to make that decision.
Okay. I don't know that we can put it on today.
I don't know that that's probably appropriate to do today just because of the
And you
situation.
cannot add it.
No, I'm not going to.
It's not, there's some more to come with that, so.
But if in the absence of someone,
Yes.
we need someone to take, who would be the normal person?
Per the charter, if he is going to be absent for less than 30 days, currently, right now, the way the charter states, the city manager appoints someone to fill in. If it's more than 30 days, then the city council will select and appoint someone as interim
Okay.
per charter. I feel like I've read that
So
charter.
we can address that in 2 weeks or when we meet again.
Okay. We've got a strong group, and they can take care of themselves. Okay, do I hear a motion to
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we've got a beer board packet. So I'd like to call the beer board to order. Is there any public comments? No? Item 3.1 is consideration to approve the minutes from the special called meeting on June 3rd, 2025. We've had those sent out. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, like sign. Motion carries. New business is item 4.1. It's a consideration to approve an application for Greene County makers to obtain a Class C special event permit for Depot Nights on Friday, September 19, 2025.
So,
Chief Spano?
Chief Spano wasn't here at last meeting, so I just kind of wanted to fill everybody in from this. At the last city council meeting, you all did approve thank you. You all did approve for a special event application for Depot Nights, which is on Friday, September the 19th. And that is going to be, the Thompsons have kind of led this effort, but it is to bring, kind of to boost economic development downtown. And a lot of the businesses on Depot Street plan to stay open during that time. And they do plan to have a band playing. And then they are asking to have alcohol on the streets of Depot from Main to Irish. And then right before the last meeting, we canceled the beer board because we discovered that with a special event, to close a street for a special event that is designed to generate economic development and to boost tourism. So that one was approved, but we also found a glitch in regards to getting a Class C beer permit. To do so, you have to be a bona fide charitable or nonprofit organization. So we canceled that meeting for that time being. And since then, Greene County Makers, which is a bona fide charitable nonprofit organization, has came forward and would like to help be a part of this event. And they would like to be the one that is the organizer and the sponsor to have alcohol downtown on Depot for Depot Nights. And they have listed their beer vendors during this event to be the Gentry and the Nickel Ridge Winery. So I'll let Chief Spano state the rest there. And both of those are in the room today. Peter Higgins is back there. He owns the Greene County Makers space. And then Mr. Pollard, he is the chairman of the Greene County Makers Board. And he is the one that has came to fill out the beer application and to take care of all of the measures to have that Class C beer permit.
Thanks for working together.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
So looking into Mr. Pollard, we didn't find anything that would conflict with any of the ordinances of the town of Greenville, and we would respectfully recommend that it be approved.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you
Motion
very
carries.
much.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.